give this a go and see if we stay focused. Second trimester, pregnant with twins. So I'm very behind in this. Let's just say that. My name's Gabby. I am currently in my third trimester with boy-girl twins, and I just been wanting to really just document this entire journey. So I started filming probably around like 12 weeks, and that's when I started kind of capturing this experience because I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So now I'm playing catch up, and I'm finally getting to do my second trimester. So what I want to do, sorry, my phone with all my notes, what I want to accomplish today is how I was feeling symptoms wise, kind of like what was happening medically wise, and then I can do like another video later about what got me through my second trimester, or maybe I just do like products in general that got me through my pregnancy. I feel like that might be a really good video to do, so we'll go from there. I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. It's just perpetual at this point, and I can't get it to stop. So second trimester is week 14 through 26, I believe. Let me double check. 14 through 27 is like the honeymoon stage of your pregnancy. Beyond the testing that you go through, I really do want to say like it's the best that you feel. So enjoy it if you're in it. If you are just coming into it and you're not feeling like fantastic yet, you will. And just hang tight. All right, 14 weeks. So this was my second OB appointment. So I have a group. So I met with a new doctor this time. We talked about gaining some weight because that was something I was paranoid about. In retrospect, I will tell you that they just want to make sure that you're not gaining weight. Otherwise it's pretty much, at least for me and my circumstances, it was pretty much like as long as you're being healthy. But she did say you would gain about 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. We talked about 38 to 38.5 weeks we would do delivery, and to know about week 26 if we were going to do C-section or natural, because you don't really flip that much after that, is what this doctor said. The only thing that really came out of that week was I had really bad migraines for a long, long time. There was a point where I was essentially every day I had a headache, and how I was tracking it. But so I asked her, I was like, can I take anything? She did say you could take Tylenol, which I know I don't like to take Tylenol in general, but in this case it was brutal. It was like migraines every single day. It started getting warm, so my feet started to swell a little bit. I had acid reflux. Newsflash, that does not go away. And then it says I really focused on drinking water. So around this time, I think I got this, which I really need like 5 of these because it's a lifesaver. Any tumbler. This one I think is 36 or 40 ounces. I drink about 5 of these a day. Week 15. Okay, so like I said, this is back in time. So week 15 for me was Easter, and we shared the genders on Easter, which I know I posted that video already if you wanted to see that. Spoiler alert, if you don't, we're having a boy and a girl, and I don't know if I said that yet. So a lot of pulling and stretching in my pelvic area. What feels tender, hips too, and feeling a little like tapping, prickling. So at this point I haven't felt them move yet. So I think this is me like trying to figure out, are they moving? Are they not? And that's all I wrote for this week. So again, like not a whole ton going on, which is good. Week 16, I did a lot of bending with yard work. I think that day was when I started planting like all of my fruits and veg. I wrote rectal pressure, TMI, sorry. If you're here, this is for TMI. Peeing way more during the day overall and just feeling full pressure below. So I didn't realize how bad my constipation was going to be. And I also like put off, again, taking any medicine. So now looking back, I took a stool softener every single day. And that's the only thing that helped me get any relief. So I take Colace, and that's what my doctor said that I could. I've never taken this much medication in my life being pregnant, but it's like every symptom and thing happened. And I just wanted relief. So I took Colace, and I don't know if it was this week or not, but that was what all that pressure was. And it was literally, because I'll never forget, I had a ultrasound and they were like, your colon's so full, we can't see baby A. I know, gross, but that's the reality of it all. Okay, 17 weeks. I just wrote, felt them move, pork chop story. So yeah, I definitely, it's the first time I felt them move. So I don't really eat pork chops, but whatever, I bought them. This was like when like the chicken and steak was going crazy, like in prices. It was like $12 for chicken breast. So I was like, guess we're gonna try pork this week. And so I got like pork medallions, and I wanted to pound them out and like make them with panko breadcrumbs. So I was getting everything set up, and I'm standing over the stove, and I start pounding them out, and all I felt was like this crazy squirm. And I think I scared the babies, and it was like the big joke where I was like, I ran to my husband, I'm like, Paul, oh my God, I think I felt the babies move. I think I scared them when I was like pounding out the pork chop because it was so loud, and I kept doing it over and over again. It just felt like a wave, and that was it. But I did slowly start feeling them after that, like the next week or so. So it was really exciting. But that's the pork chop story. So 18 weeks, I wrote, ankles are a little swollen. Again, I'm in retail, so I don't know if I went over that last video, but, I'm a manager at a department store. So I was like trying to figure out how can I like edit my schedule down without having to not work 5 days a week. So like making it like working 4 days a week. So what I ended up doing was trying not to work more than 4 days in a row. And then eventually I went to like not working more than 3 days a row over the weekend. So, retail, you're busy on the weekends. It is what it is. So for me, working like 4 days during the week in a row was fine as long as I had a break and then went into the weekend. Or if I did the weekend, like I couldn't do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By Monday, I was wrecked. So I was just trying to see, okay, so how could I layer in my days off because I don't have a set schedule. So that really did work for me, and I'm proud of myself because I'm not really the person that, I've always been known as like the flexible person that builds their schedule around everybody else. And it was time for me to take care of me and like these two babies that I was growing, and not focusing on how I can be like Gabby, the person that helps everyone, and actually help myself. So sounds silly, but this was like a big week for me just personally to acknowledge that. I felt better than I have in a while. So that's good. So this is hilarious. So that was week 18. Felt better than I have in a while. Then we go into week 19. So week 19 was my anatomy scan. Everything looked good. I will tell you, I don't love, like if you don't ask a ton of questions, you don't learn a lot. So you really have to be an advocate for yourself with these tests, especially ultrasounds and things like that. So I see my OB, then I go get my ultrasounds done with MFM, and that was kind of my schedule. So at anatomy scan wise, they brought in the MFM after to talk to you about how everything went. So baby girl who's my baby B, had some like fluid filled cysts in her brain. But they told me that those go away. Of course I didn't believe them, but at this point in my pregnancy, like today, they are gone. So you really just have to kind of like trust, but also ask the questions. I found out I have an accessory lobe. So essentially like an accessory placenta. So both of my placentas are, I guess, like if this is my vertebrae in my back, my belly's out like this. Both of my placentas are here, which is best case scenario. They're fraternal, obviously, since they're boy and a girl, but I have 2 placentas. So what happened is the placenta on the right has blood vessels, and these blood vessels kind of like venture out to the front of my belly. Okay, so they're like venturing around to the front of my belly, and I have this extra placenta here, and they call it an accessory lobe because it's connected by blood vessels, which means it's part of another one. It's not like a third placenta. So they need to keep an eye out on that through really the rest of my ultrasounds, to make sure that it wasn't like vascular previa, or pulling away from your wall. Like there could be like a ton of things that go on with that. But that scared the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like it's pretty common, but I never heard of it. But otherwise, anatomy scan was good. So beyond baby girl's cysts in her brain, this accessory lobe, and then baby boy was fine. He was good. So he was like the rock star of the visit. That was really it for the anatomy scan that I wrote down that I remember. I probably I would have more to tell you, but I think those 2 things just like took over and scared me. I will say it's very long. They really do need to check every single thing for both babies. So it was like 2.5 hours. I will tell you that going to that appointment, there was like a outage that day. I had the last appointment of the day at 2, and their offices closed at 4. So they gave us 2 hours to get it done. We got into the doctor's office, and all their computer systems were down. It was also Paul's first ultrasound that he was going to, because he started a new job and he was not able to see the babies yet. So it was just really emotional. I thought that they were gonna have to reschedule the anatomy scan. Turned out they didn't have to. After like about 45 minutes, the machines came back up, and I was kind of like hinting to the tech, like, he's never even seen them yet. Is there any way like we can do something? And essentially it was like the ultrasound machines worked. Like if they put the gel on you in the wand, like you could see it, but they weren't able to enter anything in the computer system. So for the anatomy scan purposes, it wouldn't have worked because they couldn't have entered everything that they saw. But to see the actual babies and their heartbeat, that worked. So I was like trying to be like, hey, is there like any way that you could just like, while we're waiting, like turn it on so my husband can see his kids? Like, and I don't really remember how I said it, but she did it. And I was like, oh, thank you. You're an angel. And then like 10 minutes later, the whole system went back up. So, okay. So at this point so that was like Monday of that week. By Thursday, we got hit with COVID. So that was not fun. We made it through like the entire it's 2022. We made it through the 2 years with not getting it. And then of course I'm 19 weeks pregnant with twins. Here it comes. Really scary, really, really scary, but we were okay. I did have fevers for about like 5 days. It wasn't anything excessive. My doctor just said if it goes over a certain number, you have to go to the ER. We kept it under that number. It was a lot. Beyond that, I wrote heartburn all the time. Take some Pepcid. So I take Pepcid almost like twice a day at this point. Since then. What else? I said emotional, crying, and upset over everything. I think it was just a rough week. Like beyond like learning about all these crazy things with my anatomy scan that today I can say was okay. But in the moment, like I was researching like a nut, finding out that we were sick. And then I wrote constipation caused major back pain. So like I just had a lot of things going on. So let's go to 20 weeks at this point because 19 was, I feel like, very negative. But 20 weeks came around. It says recovery went well. Nothing else really to report. While I was sick and when I started to feel better, I finished doing my registry, which I really want to do a video on because I have a lot of tips for doing a registry, kind of like hacks and how to like get the best deals. So I think if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. Heartburn still going strong with dinner time. All right. So now we're at 21 weeks. I wrote feet hurt at the end of my workday. I feel like I've been really active. I have more of a waddle right now. I don't know if I actually did. I think I just, like as you're going through it, you feel like all of these things are happening. And then like when you're in your 3rd trimester and you're looking back, you're like, oh honey, none of that happened. But you feel that way because it's the first time, you know what I mean? And now that I'm like huge and running out of room and we don't have much time left until they're here, I look at these notes and like laugh at myself like, you're hilarious. I wrote appetite has been the best so far, no aversion. So yeah, I definitely went through that. And this is where like, I think finally I was in my honeymoon part of the 2nd trimester. So again, this is 21 weeks. So I guess what I had a nice 6 weeks of the honeymoon phase. Wrote heartburn not as intense, but I did cut out spicy foods and tomato sauces. I feel them move every day now. Not a ton, but I can recognize it. I said that you can sort of feel it from the outside, but it's not rhythmic enough to catch it. No tears this week. Yay. Emotions seem on check. So really 21, I think, was my turning point after all the crazy things that kind of happened. Week 22, I had my OB appointment again. So far at 22 weeks, I wrote I gained 16 pounds. I don't want that to be something that you compare yourself to. It's just, I know, like I was always curious what people gained. I'm also 5'9". Pretty tall, and I was kind of on the heavier of my weights when I went into my pregnancy. So take that for whatever you want. I spoke about my anatomy scan and the accessory lobe. Follow up with my maternal fetal medicine doctor next week. We spoke about the liquid cysts in her brain. Doctor confirmed everything was good. Next appointment, I get my referral for my glucose test, and the movement was ramping up. And I'm definitely going to the 3 days a week at work. So that was week 22. So in the 23, my maternal fetal medicine doctor, we had ultrasound to follow up for the accessory lobes and blood flow in both hearts. So I guess I didn't remember that we didn't see that last time. Oh, so TMI. I wrote couldn't view last time because of my colon. So yeah, that's how backed up I was, sorry. So at 23 weeks, baby A, which is him, was 1 pound and 4 ounces, head down. And baby B, which is her, was 1 pound 6 ounces. She was transverse. Oh, this is the last time, I will tell you, this is the last time they were head down. They're not that way anymore. When my stretch marks started, they started below my belly and they've only continued. They run in my family. I actually am starting to use something to see how it works, and I've been filming that progress too, so that's something that could be coming. We'll see. I feel like I really need to go into like postpartum to see if it works, but that was 23 weeks. Week 24, all I wrote was heartburn is brutal. Week 25. Okay, so we have just a few more. Pelvic pain and pressure. Feet are swelling here and there. OB appointment. So she said to take Pepcid with Maalox, take Colace more often, monitor pelvic pain, wear a belt, and sit down at work. My OB appointments now are every 2 weeks. So I did get a pelvic belt to help. Just pelvic pain was getting really bad. I also ended up, I believe, starting the chiropractor not too long after this. I just want to say, if you're at this point in your pregnancy and you're having really bad pelvic pain or back pain, like go see a chiropractor. It's completely worth it. It has just made my days like function. So that was week 25. I will show, like I said, I can do a video of like all my pregnancy must-haves. That belt can be put in there. If you want to know, just let me know. I can always tag it below for you. But made a big difference, especially on your feet. I will tell you that my doctor said only to wear it for about like 4 hours a day. 26 weeks. We got 2 weeks left to go over, and then I'll be caught up in the 3rd trimester. All right, 26 weeks. So I wrote heartburn is now every day with everything. And it still is. My heartburn is like, I wake up with it. I go to bed with it. It's just brutal. I wrote the babies are moving so much. They have to be getting so big. Oh, it's so exciting. I can't, like, it makes me emotional. Because we're like getting to the end. It's like crazy. I need to get myself together. I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh, my belly button. So I have a very much of an innie, and my belly button started popping out at 26 weeks, which it is fully out now. Ooh, rough. Started getting some leg cramps that I wasn't drinking enough water. I threw out my back for a few days, but it ended up being okay. So this week I went down the shore. Again, I'm on the East Coast. I'm in right outside Philly. We go to Jersey, Ocean City every year, and this was that week. So 26 weeks, so I was down at the beach, and it was literally the day before we left. I threw out my back, and I was like, how am I gonna walk in the sand? Like, how am I gonna do this? It ended up being okay. Like, I literally just did not do much, and it was all right. But sleeping is hit or miss. So I think it's just I was like starting to get up in the middle of the night, like peeing a ton. So otherwise I was still sleeping pretty good in retrospect to today. All right, 27 weeks. So this is the final week of the 2nd trimester. All right, so I had an ultrasound. They were about 2.5 pounds. So crazy. So 4 weeks before this, they were 1.4, and now they're about 2.5 pounds. Both were breech. Oh, this is so funny. So when she was like, the ultrasound tech was going over her to try to get her to move, you know, she was like kind of like pushing on her. And it was so funny because I'm like watching the screen, and as the ultrasound tech is like being like, wake up, you gotta move, I saw her kick the probe, and it was the funniest thing because you could hear it, I could feel it, I could see it, and my husband was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I was like, well, welcome to what I feel every day. It was just like kind of surreal. It's just really weird. I don't know when I took my glucose test. I guess I didn't write it down, sorry. But I failed the glucose test. Maybe I took it that week. Oh, I did take it that week. So I needed to schedule my next one. So I had the 1 hour glucose test that I don't remember if they told me to fast forward or not. And I actually have a video that I was doing about that as well, but that I, you know, will be coming. But I don't remember if they told me to fast or not. And I did, and I failed the 1 hour. Do the 2 or the 3 hour, I think the following week or the week after. No, it was the week after. So first week of my third trimester, I ended up going in for the 3 hour glucose test. So I will leave you at that. And I guess you'll just have to wait to see if I passed it or not. Yeah, overall, I will say your second trimester is your best friend. It is the honeymoon of your pregnancy. Soak it all in. So overall, I'm just really lucky and I'm really excited. And I just want to say thank you for anybody who's watching these. I know these ones are really long, but I also didn't want to separate these because they're just symptoms at this point. And I hope that you don't take this as me complaining about anything. I just really want to be real and honest so that you know what to expect, because I feel like so many people held back when they did these. And I really wanted to know, like, when somebody was feeling something, or, you know, I wasn't alone. So my intention is just to be real and honest, but I am beyond grateful and so thankful that I am where I am today, and very excited to be able to share all of this with you. So I don't know when I'll do the third trimester, because who knows when they're gonna come. But I have so many more videos to come out. So, but if there's anything you specifically want or are curious about, please leave me a comment. Please subscribe. I really do plan on making videos way more often and sharing a little bit about my life, and really for memories. So good luck wherever you are in your process. I wish you nothing but the best.